Okay, so the next step is to create a background for our animation. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, in the bottom in the left hand side over here, we've got the timeline, and the timeline shows frames, and depending on what you've set your document up for, this document's set up for 24 frames per second. So 24 of these frames are going to play every second, and you get to decide what is going to be in those frames. We also have layers, and layers are like layers of pictures which are going to be over the top of each other, see-through layers. So if we have a background in one layer, we can then have our characters on a layer above that, and they can be moving around independently of the background layer at the bottom. So what we're going to do today is just have a look at how we might be able to create a background layer for our picture. So let's go ahead and call this layer background. I just double clicked on the name of it, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and put some green grass on the bottom layer. So as soon as I click on my rectangle tool over here, the properties box over here is now showing the different properties for this particular rectangle. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and change the fill color to a nice grassy green, and I'm going to go and take the outline off the box, and I'm going to draw myself a nice rectangle. Now, it doesn't matter if my rectangle overflows the stage, which is the white area over here, because anything that's on the outside of the stage just won't show up in my animation at the end. So I'm going to make it slightly bigger, then I don't have any white spaces sitting over there, and that's great. Now I've got a selection tool up here. I can use the selection tool to move my block if I want to. The other thing I can do, if I hover on the edge over here, if I hover on the edge, my tool gets this little kind of half circle at the bottom, and I now can hold down my mouse button and drag to give my grass a bit of a slope. So I'm just going to drag that a bit. Now that's made my grass a bit high. Move it down a little bit like that. Great, grass is looking lovely. Okay, now I'm going to put some sky. So sky is blue. I'm going to change this sky to blue, and I'm going to draw another rectangle over here now that is going to be blue. Now the problem with this is that this blue rectangle has now gone over the grass at the bottom, which is not quite what I want. So I'm going to Control Z, get rid of it, and I'm going to come down to the bottom, and I'm actually going to make a new layer with the very bottom left hand corner. Let's see if I can make this so that you can see the whole thing. Very bottom left hand corner there, I can make a new layer, and this layer is going to be called Sky. Now, because the sky is on top of my grass background, it will be on top. So let me show you what that's going to look like. So there is sky is blue. I'm going to draw my rectangle, and it's still over the top. But if I come here and I change the order, there you go, you will see that my grass looks lovely and green. Okay, and that is how we use layers to get things in front of other things and to be looking a little bit better. Now I'm going to press Control and Enter to have a look at my background. That's looking very lovely.